10 Bible verses about discipline that successful people follow. Self-control leads to victory. 1 Corinthians 9:27. No. Strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified from receiving the prize. How to practically apply this verse. Successful people master their impulses and desires. They discipline their bodies, minds, and emotions to stay focused on their goals rather than being controlled by momentary pleasures or distractions. Discipline your mind and thoughts. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. How to practically apply this verse. High achievers guard their thoughts carefully. They discipline themselves to focus on positive, productive thoughts rather than dwelling on negativity, doubt, or criticism that could derail their progress. Diligence creates wealth. Proverbs 10:4. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. How to practically apply this verse. Successful people understand that consistent, disciplined work ethic is the foundation of prosperity. They choose diligence over laziness. Knowing that their disciplined efforts will eventually pay off, planning and preparation lead to success. Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. How to practically apply this verse. Winners take time to plan strategically rather than rushing into decisions. They discipline themselves to think ahead, prepare thoroughly, and execute their plans with patience and precision. Wisdom through accepting correction. Proverbs 12:1. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. To practically apply this verse, successful people welcome feedback and correction because they know it leads to growth. They discipline themselves to listen to mentors, learn from mistakes, and continuously improve. Perseverance through hardship. Hebrews 12:11. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. How to practically apply this verse. High achievers understand that temporary discomfort leads to long-term gain. They discipline themselves to push through difficult seasons, knowing that persistence produces lasting results. Guard your words and timing. Proverbs 17:27. The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered. How to practically apply this verse. Successful people discipline their speech. They think before speaking, choose their words carefully, and maintain emotional control even under pressure, which builds trust and credibility. Start early and stay consistent. Proverbs 6:2-6-8. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. How to practically apply this verse. Winners develop self-motivated discipline. Like ants, they work diligently without needing constant supervision, preparing for the future and staying consistent in their efforts. Discipline your desires and priorities. 1 Timothy 4:7-8. Have nothing to do with godless myths and old wives' tales, rather. Train yourself to be godly. For physical training is of some value, but godliness has value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. How to practically apply this verse. Successful people train themselves to prioritize what matters most. They discipline themselves to say no to distractions and yes to activities that align with their core values and long-term goals. Consistent. Daily habits build character. Proverbs 27-14. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. How to practically apply this verse. High achievers understand that self-control is their protection against failure. They build strong daily disciplines and habits that create boundaries and structure, protecting them from destructive behaviors. How successful people apply these. Discipline principles. 1. Morning routines. They start each day with disciplined habits like prayer, exercise, reading, or planning. 2. Goal setting. They write down specific goals and create disciplined action plans to achieve them. 3. Time management. They discipline their schedule, prioritizing important tasks over urgent but less meaningful activities. 4. Continuous learning. They discipline themselves to read, study, and grow consistently rather than seeking entertainment. 5. Financial discipline. They live below their means, save regularly, and invest wisely for the future. 6. Health discipline. They maintain disciplined eating, exercise, and sleep habits to sustain peak performance. 7. Relationship discipline. They invest time and energy into building meaningful relationships that support their success. 8. Spiritual discipline. They maintain regular prayer, meditation, or spiritual practices that keep them grounded and focused. The common thread. Successful people understand that discipline is not punishment, but rather the bridge between goals and accomplishment. They follow these biblical principles because they know that temporary sacrifice leads to permanent gain, and that disciplined choices compound over time to create extraordinary results.